Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Real. It's Slayer Sunday, where I'll be talking about and reviewing all the episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in order. Today I'm looking at Season 3, Episode 21 and 22, Graduation Day. We begin the episode with Cordelia complaining about the colour of the graduation robes, and Xander saying he's got a feeling he's going to die in the school.
I've been lucky too many times. My number's coming up.
This was foreshadowing Xander's death in a future season, but Joss Whedon changed his mind, so chill out Xandykins, you've got plot armour and a hideous jumper. Harmony and Willow have a little chat despite hating each other, and Buffy says she's probably not going to go to graduation, even though we all know she's going to go to graduation. Xander tells them that Mayor Dick's going to be giving the speech at the ceremony, so guess when the Ascension is going to be? And Faith visits this professor, Professor Worth. And because the mayor said so, she gives him an off-screen stabbing. And into the credits we go. Mayor Dick has bought Faith a new dress and says the Ascension is as much about her as it is him, and he refers to her as his daughter. This would be adorable if they weren't so evil. Percy thanks Willow for helping him get the grades he needs to graduate, and she doesn't want him to get eaten by the mayor. While in class, Anya asks Xander out, but he's not in the mood, and she looks horrified when he mentions the Ascension. Wesley and Giles are fencing in the library because British, and they speculate as to why Faith bothered to kill Professor Worth, so Buffy is going to sniff around his apartment for clues, but not before Xander drags Anya into the library to spill the tea. She was present in an Ascension 800 years ago where only 3 people survived, a true demon, not a humanoid demon like the ones we've seen so far, a full-on, deadly-ass chonky boy. Snyder shows the mayor the setup for graduation and he gets a pat on the head. Good principal! Before Mayor Dick crashes the library party, so Giles stabs him.
Whoa! Well, no, that was a little thoughtless.
The mayor may be immortal, but Anya isn't anymore, so she decides to get the hell out of Dodge, and I don't blame her. Joyce gets home and whoops, what was that? Buffy is packing a case for her, and Joyce works out why, saying she's not going to leave her.
You stay, you'll get me killed.
Willow is bummed out that she can't find a spell to stop the Ascension, and accuses Oz of not being bothered by the whole thing, so he kisses her.
What are you doing?
Panicking.
Buffy is investigating Dead Dude's place when Angel literally stumbles in. This wasn't scripted, it was just David Boreanaz being clumsy, but they decided to keep it in. You can even hear the set wall shift a little as he hits it.
Ow.
Giles sent him as backup, but Buffy is not cool with him being around. And are you two seriously going to have this argument in the middle of the road? He calls her a brat and she yells at him, but whoops, now he's been shot. And what is with this goofy face? Peekaboo! Giles and Buffy pull the arrow out while Wesley works out the convoluted reason why Faith killed Professor Worth. Basically, he found evidence of what he thought was a new dinosaur, but it was the remains of the demon the mayor is going to turn into, which proves his demon form can be killed, and that's why Faith murdered his face? I have a question though, what the actual fuck? This dude thought he found a dinosaur, not a demon, and killing him led Buffy right to the thing they were trying to hide. So that was a colossally shitty plan, wasn't it? Angel collapses due to the arrow being poisoned, and while Giles goes to rally the troops, Wesley calls on the council for help to identify the poison. Willow is now the final Scooby to lose her virginity, and they have a nice moment before they're called in. Mayor Dick tells Faith it's time for a spider snack, and we get a little insight into her childhood, but shush now, no character growth for you. Go away and come back when the plot demands it. At the school, Willow gives Xander a list of stuff to buy from the magic shop, but he says he's a little short on money. A nice nod to him not only getting a tux for the prom, but also paying for Cordelia's outfit too. He runs into Anya in the hall, and she invites him to run away from the Ascension with her.
You're going to die if you stay here.
And it's obvious she has feelings for him, but he refuses to abandon his friends. Buffy tends to Angel, and Wesley announces the council refuses to help vampires, and Buffy quits, telling Wesley that she will no longer take orders from them or him. Yes, Queen! Willow has identified the poison, and Oz discovers the cure to be draining the blood of a Slayer. So Buffy's all like, no worries, I'll just pop down to my local Slayers R Us and pick up something in a Faith model. Xander tells Buffy that a Slayer Battle Royale would be a bad idea, but holy shit, that would be epic! And Buffy arms herself with Faith's knife. Then we get a montage of the Slayers gearing up for battle, intercut with Angel being poorly, and we're just killing time now, aren't we? Willow gets the address of Faith's apartment, and Buffy pays her a visit, telling her what the cure is. And why would you do that? Just stab the bitch and haul her ass across town. What follows is a prolonged fight sequence that results in both Slayers going through the window and Buffy handcuffing herself to Faith, which is going to make the rest of the fight so much harder. Giles' research turns up what kind of demon the mayor is going to become.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
And after a pretty gross snack time, this vamp reports the trouble at Faith's. The fight rages on and Faith snaps the handcuffs, so I wonder why they were even a factor to begin with. And Buffy returns Faith's knife by stabbing her in the gizzards with it. Faith is shocked that Buffy actually managed to do it and jumps off the roof onto a passing truck. Buffy is kind of broken after the fight and retreats right before Mayor Dick shows up to tut at the situation. And there is way more glass left in this window than there was when they went through it. The mayor loses his shit at this vampire and freaks out.
She's gonna be alright. She'll be alright.
Cordelia comes into the library wanting to know why Wesley is so upset and leaving the country, so they fill her in and she agrees to help them with the whole end of the world problem. Willow is watching over Angel, and in his delirious state, he mistakes her for Buffy and says he doesn't want to leave town. But Oz says not to worry, the same thing happened to him, and I want to see that scene. I feel like Oz would have played along to make him feel better. Willow says she's feeling guilty because everything is going to shit, but she's all happy because Oz, and they super make out. Buffy comes back and Oz tries to comfort her, but she wants to be alone with Angel, who says he's ready to die. You know, again. Buffy doesn't agree with this plan and offers up her blood, but he's like, nah. But she yells at him and punches him. Jeez, calm down. Until he vamps out and drinks her. Dude, you can stop now. Angel rushes her to the hospital where they agree to treat her, and hey, nice reflection you've got there. Next door, Faith is in a coma and the doctor says she's pretty fucked. But the mayor overhears them talk about Buffy and decides to take matters into his own hand until Angel yeets him off her. The gang are kind of mad at Angel for feeding off Buffy and send him home, while Buffy has a dream involving Faith.
Little Miss Muffet counting down from 730.
Little Miss Muffet is a recurring reference to a character that will be introduced in Season 5, and 730 is the amount of days until something really, really bad will happen to Buffy. Faith tells her that the mayor has human weakness and to take what she needs from her stuff before Buffy wakes up. Luckily, this hospital doesn't have Der Kinderstod, but it does have a Faith. Mwah! And she tells the gang she's ready.
Ready for what? War.
She off-screen tells everyone the plan, and Giles thinks she's crazy.
I personally don't think it's possible to come up with a crazier plan.
We attack the mayor with hummus.
Cordelia says it's the only plan they have, and Buffy kicks butt, but she's gonna need everyone's help, and tells Xander he's the most important component.
Key? Me?
Yeah, Xander. At least until Season 5. She calls back to his military experience in Halloween, but they still need to know the mayor's human weakness. And I wish I could play the scene in full, but YouTube would get cranky. But Cordelia comes up with a ridiculous plan of chasing the mayor with a fake box of the Ebola virus.
I'm starting to lean towards the hummus offensive.
You'll never see it coming.
Angel says that Faith is his weakness. Well, duh. And Wesley comes back in a non-council capacity to help. Both sides rally their troops, and we learn that during graduation there's gonna be an eclipse no one knew about. So that puts all the vampires back on the field. Xander's not thrilled he has to work with Angel.
You guys are like little old ladies.
And the mayor tells his vamps to kill everyone but not feed because snack time is for him. When Buffy said she needed everyone, she meant it, so Xander and Willow recruit the students. And in the library, Wesley and Cordelia awkwardly make out. Larry and Jonathan do their bit, and scared for their lives, Willow and Oz make out. Angel tells Buffy that when this is all over, he's not going to say goodbye, he's just going to leave. Buddy, you are going to tell her you survived, right? Oh, and Buffy has Faith's knife. Everyone finds their seats for graduation, and here it comes, the part I've been dreading all season. This seating arrangement makes no sense. Shouldn't it be alphabetical or something? Anyway, Snyders
I saw that gesture. You see me after graduation.
and introduces Mayor Dick. He gives a long-winded speech with Snyder by his butt, except for the wide shot. He must have gone to pee. And who's that over there? Where should you be? The eclipse happens, which triggers the mayor's transformation. And oh, there's Snyder! As the mayor's human body dies, so does the hope for decent special effects, as he transforms into the demon. It's slightly better than the band Candy Snake, and here come the vampires. We get epic music as the students reveal they're all armed and toast that sucker, and someone trying to flee gets eaten. Then a couple of students break away and into the path of the vampires. I count 4 of them, so Oz and his buddies fire flaming arrows at them, which takes out 2. Buffy calls for them to fall back, and another vampire is gone, and here comes backup. I wish Devon was among them. Wesley gets knocked out pretty much immediately. At least it wasn't Giles this time. And when his flamethrower dies, sadly so does Larry. There's someone on the ground here, but despite the obvious stunt double, they were fighting Angel, so they're a vampire, and no dust, no death. Snyder is pissed that his school is now a war zone and yells at the beast, making him the second principal in a row to be eaten alive. Buffy tells Willow to run, and for Xander to do his thing, and there are a few people on the ground here, but they're all still moving. The vamps and the kids charge one another. Goofy reaction shot! A kid runs straight into trouble, and Harmony gets grabbed and bitten. Jonathan dives in like a flying ninja, and Cordelia stakes her very first vampire solo. Yes, Queen! Wesley needs help, and so does this person getting nommed on. Buffy taunts the mayor with Faith's knife, saying she stuck it in her, and runs through the school with Snaky hot on her heels. She cuts through the library, which has been cleared of a lot of books, and jumps out of the window, just in time for Giles to blow the school and the mayor all to hell. Hey, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Wesley survived, but is in a lot of pain, and Buffy looks for Angel, who's not there. Giles congratulates her on a job well done and presents her with her diploma, which he salvaged from the flames, and goes to look after Wesley. Buffy spots Angel, who stares at her for a long time before walking away, and the Scoobies regroup, having all survived, and they have a moment.
We're taking a moment. And we're done.
And that's it. Definitely the most badass finale we've had so far. It's the first time all the Scoobies have worked together in such a physical way to beat a threat, and after the events of the prom, I love that all the students get involved too. It's great to see characters like Harmony, Jonathan, Larry and Percy join the battle, but a couple more recognisable characters wouldn't have gone amiss, like Freddie, John Lee, Nancy and the Cordettes, and as I said before, Devon on Angel's team. CGI has never been the show's strong suit, so the mayor's transformation and his demon form look pretty jacked up. The finale literally went out on a bang, and while it was awesome and denotes the end of an era, I'm really going to miss the school and the library. It had so much personality. I've got lots of smaller points to discuss, so let's begin with Professor Worth. He was our only death in part 1, and as I said during my commentary, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to kill him. In fact, the information they gained from his death could have easily been found in a book or via those pages that Willow stole, which, by the way, also seemed pointless because if the books were that vital to the Ascension, then surely the missing pages would have been problematic for the mayor. The eclipse kinda got thrown in there as a last minute thing to get vampires involved, but there was a pretty major eclipse in the 90s and we all knew about it way in advance, so I don't know how this one could have just popped up out of nowhere. We get the first instance of Anya running away when trouble starts because of her newfound mortality. And on the flip side, why did Giles stab Mayor Dick when he knew he couldn't be harmed? I mean, it was totally badass and it shows just how little fucks Giles gives, but it seemed like a pointless exercise. I love the scene with Buffy and Joyce and how accepting of her daughter's fate and skills she is now, enough to leave town when she's told to. So it's a shame we'll only get her for 5 total episodes next season. We see the continuation of what started in Helpless, with Buffy quitting the council entirely, which will not only affect things going forward, but will also determine Wesley's fate as he moves into the spin-off. This move shows just how much Buffy has grown as a character and evolved as a Slayer. It also continues the pattern of Buffy bucking trends, falling for a vampire, splitting the Slayer line by dying, having friends and family, and turning her back on the council. But it won't stop there. She will continue to subvert expectations and find other ways right up to the show's conclusion. Even though towards the end of part 1 we seem to be filling time, we do end with Buffy stabbing Faith with intent to kill, something neither Slayer thought she had the guts to do. But her reaction afterwards told us everything we needed to know about Buffy. She's proof that Faith was wrong. There is a distinction between Slayer and Killer. Speaking of Faith, they did such a good job at setting her up as the human weakness they could exploit in the mayor, that when it happened during the Ascension, it didn't come off as hokey or forced. In part 1, we saw just how angry he got when it came to protecting Faith, that it's actually really satisfying that she's the reason he was defeated. And she got a nice little redemption moment in the dream sequence where she actually helped Buffy come to this realization. Finally, I love that we get one last callback to Xander's time as a fake army man in Halloween. At least I think this is the last time. After this, I think he says he's forgotten his training and his connections can't be used anymore. If I'm wrong, I'm sure future me will correct myself. Now after that titanic battle, we have 17 more for our list. 10 humans, Professor Worth, stabbed by Faith, some rando student eaten by Mayor Dick, 4 students killed when they flee into the vampires, Larry killed by Mayor Dick's swinging tail, then Mayor Dick ate Principal Snyder, and our last 2 students being attacked in the bottom right corner of the screen. We have 2 transformations, Mayor Dick as he's not coming back from that shitty CGI, and Harmony who is transformed here, although it won't be revealed until next season. Out of 4 vampires, the first 3 were taken out by students with flaming arrows, and Cordelia showed what a badass she was by staking the last. Finally, our one demon was Mayor Dick, who got distracted by Buffy and blown to shit by Giles. That brings our season total to 48 humans, 7 transformations, 53 vampires, 23 demons, and 4 zombies. So there you have it. That was Graduation Day. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want more videos like this one. Next week we'll wrap up season 3. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and don't let the vampires bite.